we'll begin our adventure in the village of Urzen, in the area of Jorhas of the continent of Wildemount. The village of Urzen is set upon the back of these enormous horizon-back tortoises with these kind of shanty buildings built on top of them as they amble through the Broken Vale Marsh. The city is not a fixed settlement. Rather, it is more of a nomadic encampment built on the back of these tortoises, and other denizens have tents that they set up around this. So this is where we will pick up, where you have all been summoned by the Ogre Lord Bufal II to an audience in his tent, and you've all individually been summoned there. So the rank odors of the Broken Vale Marsh mingle with the musty aroma of a fleet of gargantuan reptiles as you traverse the rickety rope bridges above Urzen. This strange goblinoid village moves slowly and endlessly through the swampy Jorhasian wastes, its structures set atop the massive shells of horizon-back tortoises. Urzen's monstrous residents pay you little heed until you approach the large ramshackle hall of Ogre Lord Bufal II, a towering structure of haphazard timber and scrap. And as you're waiting outside his domicile to be admitted for your audience, you see several other individuals waiting out front. Alteus, would you like to describe yourself, perhaps what brings you to Urzen?
Sure thing. Sorry, I'm pulling up my Evernote real quick to get some hints. So, Alteus is a darkish-skinned man. He's got kind of like a dusty quality to his skin. You can see he's been hiking through the woods a bit, and he's sweating. And where the sweat is, the color of his skin gets even darker, more of like a brown versus more of a dusty tan everywhere else. He's got some peculiar armor on that's made out of clay and a wood shield. His eyes are kind of gem-like in a way, with little rings of kind of semi-transparent, semi-glowing qualities to them, yellows and reds and blacks, with kind of a dusty brown hair, and a nice black torn shillelagh on him. So he's kind of shambling in. It seems like he hasn't probably bathed in a long time. He's got something strapped to his back that's kind of large and wrapped in rags and canvas that he's hauling about.
How about Humberto? Would you like to describe yourself and perhaps what brings you to Urzen?
Humberto, I am a silver and I think I have it right here. He's a blue and silver dragon, dragonborn. The one thing you'll notice about him, he doesn't have a tail. So he's a tailless silver and blue dragonborn. He's covered with leather armor. He's got a dagger holstered on the front of his chest, and has a short sword down by his waist. He looks very distrusting and has a couple scars along the top of his head. He came here because he was summoned, and he's always looking for work.
And so, Alteus, make a history check for me. Tygar and Ken, you would probably know this about Dragonborn in the area, but Alteus, you may not, just since you're not always, you haven't always been in kind of larger society. Okay, yeah, so you would definitely know this as well. Dragonborn on this continent are divided into kind of two social classes. There are those with tails and those without. And the Dragonborn without tails are referred to as Ravenites. because there was a dragonborn city that was destroyed about 20 years ago, and the ruling nobles of this town called Draconia, they had tails, and kind of the servant slave class lived in the ravine beneath this floating city, and that's the name Ravenites, and they were the dragonborns without tails. Yep. So this would, him not having a tail, and you would all be fairly aware of this, would signify him as a Ravenite.
Does that have any connotations of like danger or
No,
mistrustfulness or anything, or is it just a matter of?
no, it's just a matter of class. Yeah, and just kind of a larger place in society and the history, and actually with your 15, you would probably know this, and the rest of you would be aware of this as well. Draconia was destroyed roughly 20 years ago by the white dragon Voragal, who is part of what was known as the Chroma Conclave, which was an alliance of legendary chromatic dragons that laid waste to the larger world of Exandria.
Were they directed by Kaiba by any chance?
No.
With their three blue-eyed white dragons.
Oh, no. Get that Yu-Gi-Oh shit out of my universe. So, Ken, would you like to describe yourself and perhaps what brings you to Urza?
Ken is a humanoid looking person that's very mysterious. He has a robe above his head, and he I don't know if I want to give away my full race given where we are yet.
Yeah, you don't have to. As far as you guys see, he's a man.
Yeah, he's a humanoid. He has a very large dodecahedron amulet around his neck, and he's a wizard, but he carries knives instead of a staff with him that are tucked into sheaths on either side of him. And he just has a very foreboding presence. He's a man of very few words, but he's quick to talk when people speak about the Luxon. He's here because he's been summoned. He's worked with what was the orc's name again? I remember he was an orc, but I don't remember what his
from the assembly.
Oh,
Ogre Lord Bufal II.
Ogre Lord Bufal II.
Yep.
So he's worked for the locals before. He's worked with people around this region before. He's doing anything he can to help, especially if it has anything to do with the Luxon. He's helped orphans, but the orphanages that he helps are all religious based, and the communities he helps are all religious based. He seems to shy away from those that don't give the proper respect to the Luxon and the religion that he follows. Apart from that, as I said, he's just a very mysterious character in a dark robe. He's about 6'2". He stands tall, and he's fairly stiff. Even his movements as he walks aren't as fluid as you would expect from somebody of his build. And he's, I'll say, kind of just standing in the back of the group, waiting to be addressed by Bufald.
And Tygar, would you like to describe yourself and perhaps what brings you to Urzin? And actually, building on just what Ken said, yeah, he is. So Altias and Humberto, you are both rather newcomers to Urzin. Ken has been around Urzin for a while, and Tygar, you would actually probably be the longest in residency in Urzin among the group. You've probably been here for a couple of years now.
So I was actually going to say, since you did the backstory for my guy, would you want to give the introduction? Because I kind of need a little reminder myself.
Yeah, sure. So you see before you a very well-built tabaxi with tiger stripes and wrappings on his hands and wrists. He looks rather haggard, though. You're not sure if he is hungover from the night before and still drunk, or if he has been drinking all day. But when you pass by him, you definitely can smell the alcohol on him. And I'll say that, Ken, you would probably have seen him around, especially being two non-goblinoid residents of Erzin. You've probably shared a beer, and you know a little bit about him. He has a history in Shady Creek Run, where he was part of the Grudge Gang, and his family was murdered, and he had to go on the run, and has been seeking vengeance against those who did him wrong ever since. But he landed in Erzin, and it being a rather mobile encampment has proven to be a very good place to evade and hide from the tribes of Shady Creek Run that may still want him dead. But
so I would say I probably wouldn't have that fond of a relationship with him then. And as he walks by, if he's still smelling of beer, as we walk in, Ken kind of scoffs. Mm-hmm. Just like mutters to himself, "Luxon, be ready. Going on another mission with a drunkard."
Yeah, you would know him around.
Die and be reborn.
You would know him around town as having a reputation as just kind of hanging out in the bars, and you may be getting to the occasional brawl. Whereas you tend to be rather helpful in trying to help everyone around. As you said, you don't have the same recreational activities, but would certainly know each other as residents of Erzin.
Would I have like a begrudging respect for him, or just think he's like?
That's up to you. That's up to you. Yeah, based on your alignments.
I have a begrudging respect for you. Based on the D20, I'm going to make the party work.
Yeah, so you have seen him exhibit his strength, we'll say.
The first nat 20 in the group.
Whether I
decide if you like a fellow player.
Yeah.
So
whether I like one of my actual best friends.
So within but a few minutes, you are all ushered into Lord Bufal's tent. The din of the swamp and the hushed chatter of Erzin's residents is muted as you step through the folds of a heavy leather curtain into the chamber beyond. There, the reek of the marsh is quickly replaced by the favorable scent of roasted meats and spiced wine. Orc attendants gesture you toward a litter of dingy furs before the seat of Bufal II, who allows you to settle in before his baritone voice issues a welcome.
Eat, drink, but be wary, for the Empire has come to Xhorhas, bringing damnation with it. Ever since Sunbreaker Olamon displaced my father's rule of Erzin, there's been growing discontent among our residents, having to do the dirty work of the dynasty. Now, as tensions with the Empire rise, we're on the forefront of it. 3 nights ago, my most trusted counselor, Bulbara, a goblin witch, journeyed to the foothills of Broken Veil Bluffs, where she regularly goes to gather components for her spellcasting. However, she has yet to return, and I am very concerned for her safety. I know Empire patrols have been spotted in the area, and I fear something may have happened to her, and that the Empire could be involved.
This is not good. Ken gets many of his spell components from this witch.
Yes, this is not good at all. Aside from being personally important to me, Bulbara is a fixture of the community of Erzin and helps many of our residents with her spellcasting. Her arcane protections and political guile are very important to have in these trying times, and I am afraid without her guidance, both I and Erzin will be in trouble between being torn between the dynasty and the empire. So I request of you, outsiders, investigate what has befallen Bulbara and return her safely to Erzin. I can pay you 200 gold for this, and you will have access to our most premium weapons.
Is it 200 gold each?
It is 200 gold in total.
First off,
Not in turtle,
not
right?
to-
It is in a turtle.
Does
are
he
the
have?
coins just like small turtle tokens that they've like little minis, gold minis of turtles?
No, this would be dynasty currency, so it would be gold minted with the dynasty seal.
Is there
So-
anybody in there with him?
Yes.
Can I roll to see if I see anyone doing anything suspicious?
Sure. Make a perception check.
First off, Ken would like to address that through the light of the Luxon, all things are possible. So, though whether we get the switch or not, if you believe in the light, all good things will come to pass.
Ooh.
I appreciate
Ken,
your
so we'll go
optimism.
forth and seek the switch. She is a friend of the Luxon and a friend of Ken's.
Humberto, you start looking around, and as you were welcomed to, you guys start partaking of the food and drink there. A Tiger, I think you immediately go and pour yourself a glass, correct?
Sounds about right.
And start handing them out to everyone who will take them. So, Humberto, as you start looking around, and you now have a beverage passed to you by Tigar, and you go to drink, but you do that thing where you miss your mouth and you spill it down the front of your shirt. And it totally distracts you from anything you may have observed. Trying to be cool and play it off, but stealthily check people out, and then you kind of also try to drink at the same time, and it just two things at once don't happen.
I'll tell you, this looks at his staff, and he kind of says, for starters, thank you for the safe passage within your village. The weapons don't interest me much, but do you have a good blacksmith that could do some solid work?
To which Bufal replies,
Well, yes, if you need something custom made, I would recommend you see Graf. He is the best blacksmith we have in our village. Also, I would offer Morgan to be your guide through the Broken Vale Marsh.
and he gestures off to the side where you see a hobgoblin soldier step forward from among the kind of surrounding guards and retainers and servants. And he steps out. He says, he brings his shield arm up across his chest. He says,
Lord Bufal, it would be my honor.
and he nods and kind of walks over to join you guys on that side of the room.
And that's Morgan.
Morgid, Morgid.
Morgan. Okay.
Yes.
One more thing, if I may. I realize you're in a tricky situation between the two lines of the Empire and the Dynasty, and I do not wish to thrust you any further into the squabble between us that have gone on for generations. But I don't see very many Empire members here to help you. Would this service sway you in any way towards the side and the aid of the Dynasty if we were to help you?
So Roll a history check for me to see what you would know. About this. Okay, so Urzin, and Bufal made mention to this. Urzin has been allied with the dynasty. They're one of the more recent holdings of the dynasty. When Sunbreaker Olamon, a paragon of the dynasty, defeated Ogre Lord Bufal I, our friend's father, in single combat to then become leader of Urzin. Now, because he is high-ranking general in the dynasty army, he doesn't always reside in Urzin, and most of the kind of oversight and day-to-day management, if I guess you could call it that, of this kind of ramshackle goblinoid city is left to Bufal II, and so everyone still looks up to him as a leader and sort of his father's heir. But since Sunbreaker Olamon came in and defeated him, Urzin has been under the control of the dynasty.
Many apologies. It's been a while since I've been.
So that's just what you would know.
So
Bufal replied and says,
Yes, and that is much of the discontent that we have growing in Urzin with the dynasties. We feel we're doing the dirty work while the Dark Elves just sit back and let the goblins die. But we have no love for the Empire either. They just as quickly kill our kind.
I see. Well, that's a travesty, and we hope to aid you where we can. Your work is not below our work. If it do you well.
I appreciate your help, because this is a very delicate situation. And were I to send some of my own soldiers, it could escalate tensions further and draw reprisals from the Empire upon Urzin, which is not what I want.
No, of course. Discretion is my middle name.
With that, Ken's gonna look at him and say, "Remember, brother, through the Luxon you shall be reborn. Follow the dynasty, follow the Luxon, and your life will live on beyond what it is. You are new to the ways, but the Luxon has always been here. And as you grow with the dynasty, so will your lifespan, so will your memories, until you, the Ogre people, experience it as much as the Dark Elves. Aspire to be like them. Do not be envious, my brother."
Would it be a sleight of hand or a stealth check to see if I can get away with rolling my eyes at that?
I mean, Ken, you make a perception check, and Alteus make a stealth check.
I don't know how to actually do my character.
Skills?
All right. Yeah, he doesn't see you roll your eyes.
That's good.
Can I look through the weapons pile to see if there's
Unless he gets a 20.
Magical items too?
You certainly may. We can do that, or if you guys are ready to leave, we can go to look at the weapons and such.
Yeah, how do I get to my actual skills and shit? Is it under my the skull and then the PC?
The skull and the PC would have it. Yeah, you should just click your token. If you click the person and then the box to select and then click on your character, your token, then you should have the drop downs.
See. Stop, dude.
But yeah, if you open up.
Okay, I got you. Now I see him up here on the side.
Okay.
Am I still rolling a perception check? Or?
Go ahead and roll a perception check. I mean, if you get a 20, almost. Yeah, no, you don't see him roll his eyes at you. When
you actually
he really
get up on your soapbox.
The rest of
I
the
got
crew.
my point across. I feel good about this. I feel I've
really
been doing
inspired.
that work.
Yeah. And as you say that, you do see a couple of the surrounding servants and guards in this room make symbols of praise to the Luxon when you evoke its name. So you do gather there are followers of the Luxon around here. Bufal himself may not be a complete devotee, although he has to kind of play politics, right? He's got to keep everyone happy.
Cool, and you can correct me. Obviously, it's your story. I would think that I'm kind of cool with him because he lets me do my work, and he tolerates like the Luxon the way like your local politician tolerates the church.
Yeah,
he shows up occasionally, probably, and
Yeah, absolutely. You'd definitely be on good terms.
All right, let's get some weapons.
Okay. So Morgan will shows you guys to the armory that they have here, still on this same turtle in an adjacent hut here. And I'll go ahead and unpause it. You guys can walk around, do whatever. So as you enter this armory, you check out these weapons that were described as premium weapons, but really they're just they are crude weapons of goblin make. There's nothing premium about them. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me, Humberto. So. Yeah, so as you're
rolling horrible.
You rummage through. So what there is here is you can all receive any simple melee weapon of your choice if you wish. You can and these are just basic weapons like short swords, long swords, maces. There's every type of weapon here. They're just of crude goblin make. They're like the orc swords in Lord of the Rings, right? So yeah, if anyone would like, if anybody wants to pick up an extra sword or a mace or anything like that,
is there
spears,
a
javelins, absolutely, yeah. So you pick up a dagger. Yeah, that's it's a short and a little crooked. It's got a cutting edge on it though.
Humberto just walks out.
If I kind of swing it a bit, can I tell if there's any weaknesses or disadvantages to using it versus my own that I brought with me? Okay.
No, no, it's just a regular dagger. It's just for flavor. It's crudely made by goblins.
Fair enough.
Yeah, Ken sheepishly gets rid of the daggers he has and kind of like puts them down and gets new ones. Where he tried to carve the symbol of the Luxon into the blade, but he had accidentally destroyed his daggers. Like they were beyond.
Yeah, they were ready to break.
So he's gonna kind of like almost like I don't want to set them down because they're holy, but I need something that's not gonna cut me anymore when I use it.
I like the idea that in trying to customize yours to your faith, you've dulled the usefulness of the object you were trying to bless.
I'm trying to go like the exact opposite of Voltar as a wizard. Voltar was like killed the gods. Ken is like worship them at all costs.
Yes. What is blind faith? There's only faith. I don't understand.
I'm not blind. I see fine. Dare you?
So, does anybody else wish to acquire any other weapons?
I'll look for a short sword if there's any short swords.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you can definitely find a short sword. And yeah, this one actually, this looks kind of exactly like the orc swords from the Lord of the Rings. So it's like kind of square-ish of a blade, and then at the end there's kind of a hook on the back of it.
Sounds perfect.
How about a short bow?
Yeah, you can. Yep, there's a short bow again. So this is made from a branch of of wood that is
Actually,
not
I take that.
well carved. It's still kind of knobby, and you're not exactly sure what was used to make the bowstring, but it seems like some sort of entrails, perhaps. But it is a functional short bow.
I'm going to swap that for if there's a sling. Actually, sorry, I just checked my druid stuff. I'm not proficient in it.
So, venturing out into Broken Vale Marsh, I'm going to need you to select one character to be the guide. Now, you can also select Morgid if you wish, or it can be one of you.
To be the guide. What do you mean be the guide? Like, are we going to essentially kind of like pretend like we know where we're going?
To try and guide the party through this swamp.
To be like the leader of the pack, heading
Yep.
out first.
Yep, yeah, somebody to determine like which direction we should go.
I'm already walking towards the front. Like, Ken immediately tries to assert himself as the leader. Like,
My survival's pretty good, but my wisdom's nothing. My survival's got a +4 because my wisdom is good.
If one of you wants to try and stop him, I have no idea whether he's actually going to be useful for this, but he is a pompous asshole that thinks he should be in charge.
Maybe I just go beside him and kind of like, I don't want to take his position, but maybe I kind of shadow his behavior and make suggestions as I see fit.
Can I make
Kinda
an
like double
insight
check
check
his-
to see whether like I even realize that I'm not leading, or whether I like believe that like like I'm in front, like I'm doing everything, but we're just technically following Nate.
I mean, if you're walking in the front, I mean, it's going to be pretty obvious that you're leading the group. This is effective to a marching order, but
I'll let Nate go in front of me.
My nature's not good, but my survival's pretty good. That's what I was going by. I hope that's fair.
If you are a survivalist,
you guys don't know who
rely
you guys.
on the village, I will follow.
Okay, so Altius is going to lead today.
I think he just like walks similar to Dalton or similar to Ken in a way. We're just used to doing things autonomously. In my case, where he just starts walking in the way that he thinks he should be going.
Okay.
I was assuming you like actually said that you were good at survival like that.
So
we were kind of like me and you were kind of like walking.
I
like,
know
anime style
my way around the woods. I'll put it that way. I know my way around the woods.
Okay, so as you guys begin to set out, you navigate your way through the mobile settlement that is the village of Urzin, and Morgid. Actually, so when you step up and decide to lead the party, Altius, Morgid comes up next to you. He pulls out a map from his satchel, and he says,
The area between here and Fort Venture, which is near where we suspect Bulbara went missing, is very treacherous and marshy.
and he pulls out this map and he shows you the general direction of where Bulbara was and where Fort Venture is. You're going to mostly have to travel to the west and a little bit south. Really
cool, actually.
So as you begin setting out away from Urzin, you're immediately walking through swamp. The bog water in the marsh averages 1 to 5 feet deep, but there are also shallow patches of wheat that are thick with weeds. There are some raised areas as well, which may be suitable campsites. So as you travel, I make this for you. So what is your okay. Okay. So, what is the pace you would like to move at? Slow,
What are the
average,
categories?
slow, average, or fast?
I'm going to say slow.
Okay, so setting a slow pace.
Despite my history in the Oregon Trail, which everything was blistering to me no matter what.
So you are.
I don't want dysentery.
Yeah, we have to avoid dysentery at all costs.
So setting a slow pace.
Before we start moving, though, I point to this cluster of things, and I ask Morgan what he sees, what he knows of this area on the map.
Yeah,
This
and
viney section.
so Morgan looks. He looks at where you're pointing. So,
Yes. That is the Withered Grove. This is a thicket. This is a thicket within the marsh. It does tend to be a bit less boggy through there, but the vegetation is a bit thicker. He says we could traverse it.
And before we get too far, I kind of want to get a vibe check on, kind of an insight on his character to see if he's a trustworthy fellow.
Sure, make an insight check.
Hey, shit, that's 220 so far.
Yeah.
26.
Nice. Yeah. So he is a loyal denizen of Urzen. However, you all being outsiders, you get the sense that he is just doing as his Lord tells him. He's not necessarily devoted to you guys. He's devoted to Lord Bufal, and he does want this mission to succeed. He does want Bolbara to return, but he's not going to die for you guys.
Sure. Okay. So Morgan, I see Morton.
Morgan.
I apologize. It's a new name for me. It's just you don't grow up with a name and then you hear it and it's a bit harder to remember. You know these woods better than I. Would you go through this brambly bit, or would you walk around it? What do you think would be the best path forwards?
It's traversable.
That's not what I asked you. Is this the route you would go?
It is.
Do I know anything about the surrounding area, having been here in town for a little bit?
Yeah, you probably would.
Could I make a history check to see
Yeah.
whether I think it'd be too dangerous?
Yeah. Why don't you make a survival check? Yeah. So what you would know is that this is definitely a passable area, but because this is sort of one of the more drier regions of the marsh, sometimes bog creatures will seek shelter there within this thicket, but you don't know of any.
Where, Nate's name is.
Yeah. You don't know of any overt dangers. This isn't necessarily an area that is constantly avoided, but it's one of those areas that is less wet than some of the rest of the marsh. So it's kind of like a watering hole in the Serengeti. Something could be there.
It's intentionally vague. Fair enough.
Ken has traveled this way before. It is not overtly dangerous, but it can have its troubles.
Okay, I say when we get on the dry land, we make some dust in our tracks and we move a bit quicker in case we find anything. Or maybe we move a little bit stealthily and make sure we're not going to find too much trouble.
Okay, so As you traverse here, after a few miles walking through the bog, it is kind of slow goings, and you're cautiously proceeding, keeping an eye out for pitfalls within the murky waters, quicksand, things like that, and as also any creatures that may be about. You do notice the ground start to rise under your feet, and this is a more vegetated area. You spy a shaded thicket of withered mangrove trees draped in sickly veil of rotted kudzu and creeper vines. A moldering wooden raft topped with a single withered post floats near the center of this dark and lonely copse. A gaunt form clings lifelessly to the bottom of the post, recognizable as the weathered skeletal remains of a Dwendalian soldier. And let me see if anybody. So
this is in the thicket or in the water?
This is in the thicket. There's like a the whole area is boggy, right? So there's intermixed water.
Okay, fair enough.
Can I check the body for anything important?
We will get to that. So Altaeus, is you and I think Tygar. Yeah, you and Tygar spot two swarms of poisonous snakes in the trees above you. The others do not. And you will be considered surprised. And we will be going into initiative.
Do the soldiers have any sign of the Luxon on them? Is that on the Dwendalian armor?
That would not be on the Dwendalian Empire. The Empire does not follow Luxon. Yeah. So all of you are now in battle.
Okay. Utility. Roll initiative.
Yep. Did you just roll another 20?
Fucking 20. Damn. What I'd like to know this. Where's my C3PO to tell me what the chances are of that?
I think Morgan rolled a 1.
Morgan. Yeah.
So
nice roll, man.
Altaeus, you are not surprised, so you will have the first turn.
Okay.
As you see these swarms of poisonous snakes coming out of the overhanging mangrove trees above you.
Game is currently closed.
Oh, my fault.
Alright, so first thing I do, I use my bonus action. I hold my staff, and kind of you start to see a glow to it as I'm holding it, and I pull up my shield, which I misspoke earlier. It's more of like a woven, looking almost like a basket. So he starts to move in this direction. 1, 2.
Each
3,
each cube's 5 feet.
And 4, and I'm going to now that I have my shillelagh kind of charged up as my bonus action, I'm going to swing at it using my action.
I
25.
think that's gonna hit.
Okay. Normal hit. Actually, that was normal, right? You would have told me. So that does 10 damage to the snake on the west side.
Yeah. So apply damage. Oh, whoops, sorry. I'm sorry. I just murdered everyone. I'm sorry. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Let's do this. Apply healing. Hey, there you go.
Hey.
Sorry, everyone. Just this guy. Apply damage. There we go. Sorry.
Remember we talked about level 1 earlier? I was like,
yeah.
I don't make it past the first chapter.
Yeah, so you smack into this swarm of snakes and you take a couple of them out, but there's still a number of these poisonous snakes writhing and coming at you through the trees.
I see. Well, that ends my turn.
Okay.
Actually, wait. I'm gonna move one more spot here, and then end my turn.
Okay. Yeah, sure. All right, Tygar, you are up next. Are you in the scene?
Yep, I'm walking right up to this one,
Yep.
and I'm gonna smack it with my sword.
Okay. I might need to. Yeah, it looks like you have it equipped. Let's see, a 16 will hit.
Right.
So go ahead and roll damage. 6 damage.
6 damage.
Yeah.
Are the snakes surprised, or
No, they're
not
not.
surprised.
They're not surprised.
Okay.
Your compatriots are surprised. So you slash at this swarm of snakes and you just cut the head right off of one of them. But almost
Nice.
reminiscent of a hydra, though, you see more snakes coming at you behind it.
Wonderful.
You have anything else?
Nope, that's
Bonus
it.
action? Nope. Okay. So next, it will be these snakes. So these snakes are going to attack you, Tygar, as they try to bite. That is a 9 to hit. I don't think that hits.
That does not.
Okay. So then we will go to the next swarm of snakes. They move up. And they will attack Ken.
Oh, fuck you, snakes.
You're right in front of him, and you're surprised. All of a sudden, as you're walking along through the bog, all of a sudden, the snake just falls on you from the canopy. That's a 15 to hit.
Oof. What are these snakes? What do these snakes
Yep,
eat
that
for
hits.
breakfast?
Okay.
That hits my wizard ass, amazingly.
Ooh, that's 7 piercing damage, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Save this constitution.
The snakes are on steroids.
Do I have? Hold on, let me
You-
see if I feel like I might have something with this with my other class. Actually, no,
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. Well, you know what? That's okay because as the snake bites into you, you feel venom coursing through you, but you are able to shake off the effects of this, and you actually resist becoming poisoned. And perhaps some element of your being has helped you with this. So it is now Morgan's turn. So he's going to see this snake attack. Oh wait, no, it's not, because he was surprised, I think. Yeah, he was definitely surprised. So we'll come back to Altias.
So I think I got skipped.
You were surprised.
Oh, I was surprised. Okay.
Yep.
Only the people with perception checks high enough, right?
Yeah, it's passive perception. Yeah. So Altias, we're back to you.
Back on it again with the shillelagh.
All right.
He loads
19.
up a swing,
That hits.
You almost got a
clubbing these motherfuckers. Oops, damage. That's what I wanted. Normal. And 11.
11 damage. Woo. Yeah, so you smack with your shillelagh through again, and you squash 2 more snakes in the swarm. You will really only see 1 more of them here.
Fuck 'em all.
In this cluster. Is that
Little
it?
snake in the grass.
That it for you?
That is it for me. Yes, sir.
Okay, Tygar.
Alright. I am gonna swing one more time with my mighty short sword.
The mightiest of short swords.
It's the shortest of mightiest.
That hits.
shortest of mighty swords.
See, you have cool dice.
Well, we went into the settings and changed it.
Yeah, I can't figure out how to bring the settings up.
Top right, game settings is the ampersand looking one. And then go to configure settings. And then you should be able to scroll down to dice so nice and then my dice settings.
I was in configure controls earlier.
So you see another snake lunging at you, but with your monk reflexes, hold up your sword, actually, and you end up slicing the snake in half as it strikes at you. And that vanquishes this part of the swarm. Ken,
So he's dead.
you are up next.
Okay. So I am going to just stare down at the snake that just bit me and use my unsettling presence to try and make it afraid of me.
Okay.
Why did I just close this book? I just handed it open to it.
I have the details of that here as well somewhere.
So, yeah, it'll take my action.
Yep.
I'm just going to look down at it and say, fuck off.
And
And it has to make a saving throw at disadvantage, or no.
It just has disadvantage on the next saving throw it makes within the next minute.
Oh, never mind. I thought it made it, like, afraid of me. That's not as cool.
Yeah, do you want to take it back?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably not. Save for a different situation. True strike?
Nah, I'm just going to Ray of Frost him.
Alright. Roll an attack. 13 does not hit. Barely misses him. As there are, you see all these other snakes coming at you, and you have one on you, and it's wiggling, and it's hard to get your aim right as you blast off a ray of frost. It goes between the other oncoming snakes.
When we're not here, do these snakes just do like push-ups and have like an open gym?
Yeah, they practice their strikes.
They listen to Inspiration by Arnold Schwarzenegger.
That sucks. I guess I'm just gonna stay here.
All right,
If I leave, I'll get an attack of opportunity and I'll die.
Humberto.
Can I? How many snakes are in front of Ken?
There are several. Probably 4 or 5.
Can I use my breath weapon on them? Would that
Yeah,
hit?
that would hit all of them. Yeah. Yeah,
It wouldn't
I'd
hit
say you
anybody.
can. What's the range on this? Let me
I
see.
just clicked on it. Let's
It's
see.
a cone, right?
Usually 15 feet, right?
So you have the blue one, a 5 by 30 foot line.
Woo!
So that would hit. That would hit Tigar.
Alright.
I'll say if
Not
you
gonna-
want. I'll say if you want, you can move to the other side of Ken and use it so that you don't hit anybody.
You could go north one
Or
step.
you
and
could,
then
yeah, you could,
sit there.
you could take one step up and just shoot it across in front of everyone as well.
That's what I'll do.
Get your marshmallows
Alright.
ready.
Can I click on that to use that to roll
So
for it, or do I-
now they need to make a. Okay, let's see. Each one makes a DC. So it's a DC 12 saving throw of dexterity for these guys. Saving throw dexterity. That is a 20. So they do make the save. So I believe they take half damage. So go ahead and roll damage, which is 2d6.
So I do R slash R
Slash R space 2d6.
2d6 enter. and then I should be able to attack regularly, right?
No, I believe it's an action for your breath weapon.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I didn't know.
Yeah, as an action. Yep. So you would have a bonus action.
Yeah, under more details. Is it?
Yeah, we can only do
So-
like one thing.
So as you step up and you release a jolt of lightning from your draconic mouth, and you're able to zap one of the snakes. I'll say it was the snake that was on Ken. I'll say got shocked off, but the swarm is still strong, and it's now going to turn and attack you, Humberto, after that impressive display.
See, don't want any more, do you?
What element that just came out? Was it blue? Was it lighty?
Yeah, it was lightning. It's a 22 to hit.
Oh, a 22 hits. Sorry, I had to mute.
Yeah, I thought
22
so.
definitely hits.
I thought it might. So that is six damage to you, Humberto. And
It's leading the
I'll
lizard.
apply-
Is that what you're saying?
And see, Ken, I forgot to apply that damage to you. And I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
All right, welcome back to the computer then.
Ken.
Dude, these snakes I feel like are the hardest.
Yeah,
thing
oh, there it
I've
is. You
ever
got it. Yeah, you're at 1.
fought. I hate being level 1.
And
So you said a saving throw. So
Constitution saving throw.
All right, roll.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
I'm changing my dice.
Change your virtual dice.
So you will take a lot of poison damage.
If it's any more than 4, I'm down.
Yeah, sorry, this is kind of a lot.
Closing the door.
18 poison damage as
Holy shit!
as
I'm like-
multiple
am I
snakes.
I'd be dead.
Wait, are
So
you
you are
permanently dead?
You are unconscious. Oh wait, no, that is
I think I'm dead.
no. So it's more than how much did you have after the
10.
the hit set? So 4.
After the hit, I had what did I get hit for 6? I had 4 left. I
Yeah,
had 10 total HP.
you have 10 total HP. That's yeah. You're not in good shape here, my friend. So we will go to Morgan, seeing you. Seeing you because
Yeah, I think I'm dead.
seeing you take this, Morgan is going to run over, and he actually being a veteran of the swamp, has an antivenom that he is going to feed you, that is going to prevent you from succumbing to the permadeath of the snake venom.
Plot armor venom.
For today, Altias Stalkin. Yeah, I mean the stat box is 4d6. That's a lot at level 1. Hey, let's
Dude,
go.
I'm
One.
gonna-
That's gonna one shot anyway. That's kind of not cool.
I'm making another character just in case.
My whole direction with my character just changed. Like, we need somebody that can have some.
I really don't want to permadeath somebody on the first turn.
I do have some healing.
But yeah, the damage overage there would have been equal to your hit point maximum, and that would be permadeath. But
Yeah, that's what I thought. I was like, ooh.
I'm not gonna.
Ooh.
I don't want to permadeath you on the first turn of the first encounter. That's shitty. So, but you are unconscious now.
So my character misses.
Yes, that's not going to hit.
Okay. I guess that's everything I got. So he's stabilized. What else can you do, right?
Yeah, he is unconscious. But yeah, I'm gonna have you make death saves, Humberto.
Okay.
But yeah, Morgan used his turn
You still end up dying.
to It would be a little more acceptable than that. All right, Tygar, go ahead.
I got killed on the
Sorry, I don't
first.
know why I think that's so funny.
The snakes are going to focus on Humberto. Auto crits.
Which one again is unconscious right now?
The cartoony dragon looking dude. The one that the snake's looking at.
I'm just gonna put him out of his misery and eat him. I'm just kidding. I'm going after the snake.
I was like, I'm already on D&D Beyond making another character, just so you know why we're talking.
All right, go ahead and roll your attack. That'll hit.
Ooh, nice.
Roll that damage.
Finish him. 7.
7 damage. Yeah, you're able to clearly slice through one snake and damage another one, but the swarm is still here. Ken, that'll be your turn.
I'm just gonna stab the snakes.
So who's in death saves right now? Is it Umberto? Is it?
Yeah.
Dude,
And he's the
snakes
blue
do
guy?
A lot.
I mean, I
Umberto.
would be dead. I technically should be dead, but Sully is a gracious overlord right now because he just murdered me with a horde of snakes.
14 will hit. Go ahead and roll damage.
14 does hit? I thought you said 14 didn't hit earlier.
Oh, it was a 13 that didn't hit.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, one away. And then
Back to
5.
Blaney.
Yeah, so you're able to stab through one of the snakes, the one that had gotten slashed by Tygar before. There's still a couple of snakes wriggling around here, though. Humberto, I need you to make a death save for me.
Is that where?
So just roll a d20.
As if you stab them, it works.
They're weak to stabbing.
Okay, that counts as a failure. So keep that in mind. I think there might be a place on your... Yeah, there might be a place on your sheet for death saves to keep track. But just remember that is one failure. 2 more of those and you will be dead.
I'm changing my dice again.
So, yeah. That brings us to the snake. So, having been... Oops. Yeah, actually, here, let me turn you sideways. You're dead. Oh, cool. Yes, so... The snakes are going to turn and attack you, Tygar, since you have done the most damage to them.
Aim straight.
There's a 12 to hit, which I think misses you.
That does not hit.
So again, a snake lunges out at you, and you remarkably, and the rest of you, you've seen him, as I said, it looked like he was hungover or drunk or something. Now you've gotten into combat, you are impressed by the speed and reflex that is being displayed by this tiger tabaxi. Next,
Begrudging respect.
Next, it would be Morgan's turn. And he will go ahead and attack this remaining swarm with his longsword. That's a 16, which hits. So he will roll damage. Let's see if I should do this. Didn't work. Okay. 4 damage as Morgan kills yet another snake. Say there's only 1 or 2 left here. That will bring us back to the top of the initiative with Altias.
Okay, so I cast level 1 spell. I pull out a mistletoe, and from it I form this like handful of berries, and I take one, and I how does that work for you? Like if I was to give, if that was my action to cast Good Berry, what would it be to give? To feed one to
it would be an action. It would be an action. It's an action to feed another character, like a potion or something. And so is it an action to cast? Yeah, it's 1 action to cast Good Berry. So you have the berries. I'll say as a bonus action, you can pass them to the alive characters. If you wanted to give some to anybody else, I mean, how many do you have? Up to 10.
10.
Oh, he is a berry boy.
So.
Would anybody like to feed our friend here and get him up? And I figure if anybody else needs one, we've got it. Otherwise, if I'm the only one with a chance to bring us up, I didn't want to be without any options and already be down. I'll just hold on to him for now.
Okay. Morgan says, "Here, hand them to me." As he's next to Humberto, already fed him an antidote, and
I was hoping.
he's up in the initiative before you would get your next turn. So, how many berries do you want to give to Morgan?
I mean, how many can you feed him at once? Is it just
you
one?
You can give him all 10. You can give him all 10.
Okay, I'll give them all 10.
Okay. So you give all 10, you hand over the berries to Morgan with your bonus action. Tiger, you are up.
Alright, I'm staying par for the course here.
Oh, Ty, there is another... There is... you have claws, too. It might not be showing up appropriately. I think it might be that plus unarmed strike. Or the unarmed strike thing. No, it's not really showing up. You have a claw attack as well. I was just looking at it. Yeah, it's under features, I think.
Short sword does more damage.
Your cat's claw. Okay, I just want to make sure you saw that because I was just looking at your thing and it's like, wait, where are the claws? I don't see it in the menu.
They're like under the features.
Okay, cool.
I think it's just unarmed strike plus what it said. So.
Yeah, it does slashing damage and. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, no, the short sword.
D4, you had your strength. Yeah, so okay, just wanted to make sure you saw it. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
22. Yeah, because I had to make some custom options for the Tabaxi. So 7. So with a 7, you hack into this bundle of snakes again, and there's only one snake left now, and it's writhing on the ground. Go ahead, Ken.
I'm gonna try Ray of Frost again.
All right, roll that attack. That'll hit.
Yeah, new dice.
I like those dice. Yeah.
Like disco.
Disco, baby. That is exactly who Ken is. Like, he would call a club a discotheque.
Okay. So with that, how you want to do it?
He just reaches for it because they're next. Are they next in the initiative, or is it? I think they're pretty close after.
Yeah, it would be Humberto, and then it would be the snakes. So yeah.
So he sees them like kind of coiling up, looking at him after he's already killed some of his friends, his new work associates, and he just reaches out and grabs one by the head as it comes to him, and it like his whole body kind of freezes down to the tail. Then he just crushes it, and it turns into like
shattering
crystals.
it into ice
Exactly.
crystals. dust to the wind.
I'll tell you, it's just like,
while
oh,
he's doing
thank
this,
God
he's
there was
also, like,
things
coughing
on the
up blood.
motherfucking
He's
little
not
plane.
And with that, I'll say Morgan feeds Humberto all 10 of those good berries. So you get 10 hit points back.
Woo.
And that ends this combat. A harrowing journey there in Broken Vale Marsh, my guys.
And we're not even there yet, huh?
You guys wouldn't
So-
mind. Ken would like to take a short rest. I'm about to die. It's not a big deal, but I prefer not to die.
If
I'm
it's not
with
a big
it.
deal, we should just keep going.
That's fair. And then I just keep walking forward. We're not taking a short rest now.
Well, which is it? Is it a big deal or not a big deal?
It's
Okay.
no big deal. It's fine. Let's move forward. We're fine. Let's go.
Okay.
I think
Can I do a medicine check or something to kind of get an idea of if he's just full of shit?
I mean, sure, make a medicine check on him.
I love this. Just move
We can
ahead.
take a short. We can take a short
yeah,
rest
he's-
here a little bit.
So I mean, you saw him get bit by a snake, but I mean, you also saw Humberto get bit by a snake and he died. Ken got bit by a snake, he didn't die. So I mean, if he says he's fine, you assume he's doing all right.
It's fine. It's
Well
fine.
enough.
All
I
10
mean,
all 10 good berries to Humberto. He needs them. Ken is fine. Let's go.
If we are going to rest, it's probably best that we do it on dry ground. And I can make another bit of good berries if you guys are hungry or need them. I don't know. I feel in tip-top shape, so it's not up to me. It's not for me,
Forward.
but
Where are we going? I just start walking
Yes,
ahead.
okay.
I just start moving towards where we're going now.
okay.
all right, let's do it.
So boggy wetlands covered with waist-high water spread as far as the eye can see as you venture deeper into the mist-laden expanses of the Broken Vale Marsh.
Wait, did we ever check that guy out?
Oh yeah, that's
Okay.
right. Sorry, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Humberto, you did say it before the encounter. So, yeah, sure. Go ahead, roll an investigation check for me as you go to check him out.
Roberto, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Finally, a good roll.
So the dead soldier is clad in chainmail and rotted clothes. He has a mildewed pouch that contains 15 silver pieces,
Oh, I take that.
and he also has a tarnished shield emblazoned with the Dwendalian crest that is sitting on the raft.
Is there anything linked to why he would be out here?
Yeah, and you with your check, you would also locate his longsword jutting up from the slimy bottom of the swamp, along with the scattered skeletal remains of 2 other travelers, dead travelers. So you would get the sense that, given the raft and the other skeletal remains you see here not being armed in any way, you get the sense that he was perhaps maybe guiding these people through the swamp when tragedy befell them, or trying to assist them in traversing it in some way. But if you'd like, you can salvage the
I've seen Barry out here before.
chainmail,
Again for not following the
15
left.
silver, and a longsword.
Yeah, I'll take all 3. Is the chainmail better than the leather that I'm wearing?
So
I have it pulled up. Chainmail has a 16 AC, but you need a strength of 13 to not have a problem with your. I think it's your walking.
So
speed
you
that gets
have-
affected, and you have disadvantage on.
Yeah, you have enough strength
Sorry.
for it. Yeah, so I can just put it into your inventory. You can see. So
And is the longsword going to be better than the short sword? The longsword's still a one-hand sword, but it's just short. Like, it's not a great sword, right?
Yep. Here, I'm putting all this stuff into your inventory, and you can look
Pretty
at.
sure longsword you can do a two-handed attack that does more damage.
A longsword is versatile, and you know what? Here, I can. Yep, you got this, the 15 silver. Yeah.
So I'm going to equip that.
Yep. So you can just
When
click
you-
on. Yep. Yeah, you got it, man. I see you. I see you making the changes. Yeah.
And then take the short sword out. Maybe I won't get knocked down this time. I needed that. You know, sometimes you just need some things.
I mean, I wouldn't know.
Well, sometimes you need the wisdom of the Chumbawamba. When you get knocked down, you get up again.
Yeah, you just see me dancing just like in my head to Chumbawamba, but no one else hears it. Can I offer my leather to anyone who doesn't have armor?
Pissing
Sure.
the night away.
Does
I
anybody
asked-
want leather armor?
I asked Ken
take leather.
specifically because he was hurt.
Come on.
Does what's his name?
Morgan?
Morgan have? What does he have?
I'll take the leather armor if nobody else
Yeah.
in the party's taking it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It's,
I'll give
Morgan has. He has chainmail.
When I give it to Ken, I say this is from the power of the Luxon, but I say it mockingly.
I do an insight check, see if I notice he's mocking me.
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. Roll a deception, Humberto.
In my
So
head,
wait,
I'm
was that a 1? Was that a crit 1?
I think it was
think
a
so.
2.
That was a 1. No, that was a 1.
Zero.
That was a 1.
That's
Yeah,
even a 3.
dude.
Either way, yeah.
You are not picking up on the subtlety today of all these perceived slights. Although
Oh, just be-
Not doing a good job.
he barely disguises
Everybody else
this
gets it.
before
Everybody else
you.
gets it.
Yeah, everybody else gets it.
Dude, I'm
No,
rolling like
I'm gonna-
fast, and I can't keep changing my dice.
My friend,
I-
would you like me to draw the Luxon on your shield to get rid of that Dwendalian flesh? So you are not, attacked by the many people that want to kill the Dwendalians out here.
I just go Dindolians, Luxon. da, 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 da."
Yeah, and
Yes, exactly. Dwendalians do not follow the Luxon.
the shield is
You get it.
the shield is tarnished to the point where it would probably not be usable.
Yeah, I was gonna offer that because I don't think as a rogue, I don't think I really have need for a shield. Chainmail helps a lot though.
Yeah.
We don't need sheep.
Okay, so would you guys like to proceed onward?
Yes, sir.
So,
Ready?
the
Yeah,
boggy
go ready.
wetlands, waist-high water. As you come to a small patch of relatively dry land, Morgan produces the map again on a bleached piece of leather. His eyes narrow as he looks at it and helps you. Altius, he points in a direction that you guys should go, and you continue on.
I'm
and
also gonna
he's-
put another spell out of Goodberry just to have
Okay,
it.
yeah, so
And
you can produce.
Usually I do it at the end of the night. If I have any extra spell slots, I'll do it at the end of the night.
Okay,
But since this is our first day, it wouldn't have that necessarily.
sure.
You know, Altice, we have been walking for a long time. If you want, I could use a berry, or like.
So, yeah, so you produce some berries. 10 berries, go ahead and hand them out as you see fit.
I'm gonna get 5 to. Is that Ken that I just heard, or
Yeah.
I mean, I'm
Yeah,
kind of hungry. It's not the big
So-
deal.
oh, in that case, I take 4 of them back. This will do, yeah.
Just okay, that's fine. I eat my 1 berry, and I'm now at 2 HP.
Oh Jesus Christ! All right, I give
Nope,
him. I
nope,
give
That's
him.
what happened. Nope.
Okay.
This is where we are. I fucking love it.
Oh, my mother, before she disowned me, always said pride cometh before a fall. But You know, if you didn't learn it from my mother, you might have to learn it firsthand.
So, as you guys travel on a little bit more, night begins to set in, and Morgan suggests that you should look for somewhere to set up your camp. With your survival check earlier in the... Actually, go ahead and make another survival check.
Sure. Oops. Come on.
You want all of us to make it, or just
No, just Altias leading everyone. Okay, yeah. So
Ooh.
you're able to
Dude,
find...
you are rolling on fire.
You're able to find a pretty good, and especially with the pace that you guys took, kind of slowly plodding your way, you're able to find a good dry spot that you're able to camp in, just through this thick bramble. Yep. And you guys can see where you are. You know where you are on the map as you settle into camp. And Morgan points out where you are on the map. I made it nighttime. I don't know if that obscured anything for you guys. I'll make it daytime again.
I don't see any changes to it.
As you're sitting and settling around camp, Morgan kind of scoffs. Says, "The marsh loves outlanders like you. Loves to gobble them up, bones and all. But worry not, my friends. Morgan will lead the way." Says, "Maybe 2 more days through this swamp and we'll reach Fort Venture."
Oof. Can I have a private talk with Morgan tonight?
Sure.
Oh, chicka.
I want to.
As soon as we get there.
I kind of walk to the side while everyone's just getting ready and pull more. It's Morgid, right?
Yes.
I pull Morgid aside, and can I do a roll to see how loyal I think he is to the orc chieftain or orc lord?
Yeah, sure. Make an insight check, and what exactly are you saying to him?
So I ask him. I say, how loyal are you toward your lord, toward your orc,
Sure.
orc lord?
Sure. And go ahead and make an insight check on that. And he says, "I've pledged my undying loyalty to Lord Bufal the Second. I had much respect for his father, Lord Bufal the First. And although I respect our laws and ways, Sunbreaker Oldemon is an outsider. And Lord Bufal is the one who is here every day, making sure that the citizens of Urzen are safe." And with that 17, yeah, he's telling the truth. I mean, he is a loyal follower of Lord Bufal the Second, and he only wants what's best for the city of Urzen and their people.
So I ask him with a straightforward face and say, out of everyone in his, would he have a court? Does he have a council? Does he have like and everyone in his court, who do you think would make the witch disappear? Who do you think sick of the empire and the dynasty and the empire politics the most to make the witch disappear, to cause an uprising or cause the citizens to doubt
Let's see.
the orc leader?
Let's see. He sits and he ponders it for a moment. He goes, I never considered that someone from Urzen would want to harm Bulbara. And he contemplates. He says, No one comes to mind. He says, I'm certain the Empire must be the Empire must be behind this.
So there's no one that the chieftain argues with. There's no one that him and another person don't see the same views with of the politics of the village.
There is growing tensions among the villagers, and a sentiment that we are just bid to do the dirty work for the dynasty. However, we do appreciate the protections that allyship with the dynasty does provide against the Empire, especially now that the Empire's patrols have been encroaching further and further into the marsh and putting more and more of a threat on Urzen.
So I just take that with everything you said. Just say thank you for the talk. If you can think of anyone specifically, let me know. But I don't want you to share this with anyone. But I feel like it was an inside job.
Okay, and he sits and goes, Oh, I hope you're wrong, friend. But you see him pondering this and scratching his head. You've given him something to contemplate. He's not really one for the political guiles. This is kind of he's much more used to being out in the marsh than playing politics in whatever form that may occur in Urzen. What limited subtlety and subterfuge there is.
Is he also bad at flash kicks and sonic booms? If he's not good at guiles?
Oh.
Sorry.
I mean, we do have someone in the party named Ken, so who knows? Maybe Ryu will show up.
I just make a mental note, and
those Ray of Frost are going to be flavored as Hadoukens.
I'm so fun.
it said you have to say it too when you do the Ray of Frost now.
Can I say that Ken sleeps standing completely straight up, like horizontally?
Sure, like a horse. Yeah, absolutely.
I don't see anything. Like it's just fully standing straight up, eyes open.
Yeah. So as the rest of you start to settle in and roll under your bedrolls and stuff, you see Ken just standing there, staring.
I take dirt and try to draw a dick on his face.
Stealth check?
I mean, are you being stealthy about this, or are you just walking up and trying to draw a dick on his face?
Well, first I walk up and wave my hand in front of his face a couple times, and I just look around in disbelief.
Ken, do you react?
I am dead asleep. Like I literally almost died. I've been struggling. Like I am more asleep than I have ever been in my life.
instead of a dick, I want to draw the what's it called, the Luxcon or Luxon.
Yeah, the Luxon.
And I want to tell everyone that we're going to tell him in the morning that we went to sleep and he woke up with it, and convince him that it's like a religious miracle to make him pumped for the day.
Okay.
As you became closer to death, the Luxon marked you with its 8 equals D.
Yeah. So the symbol of the Luxon is this. It's like a dodecahedron with like a pentagram inside, 12-sided, and there is like an infinity symbol kind of woven through it. However, you doing this in mud, yeah, sure. You could do the infinity symbol with like a kind of like a circle around it.
An 8 with a oval coming out at a 6 o'clock, or like at 3 o'clock. Do we make it through the night? There you go.
Yeah. So you guys are able to settle in and go ahead and take a full rest.
So that's the long rest.
Yep, long rest. Get everything back. Everyone's healed up.
Dude, I'm very happy with how this campaign is going.
And
I should still have 9. I should still have 9 good berries that last for 24 hours since I cast it. So I'm not sure when that would be, but
so when did you cast? Right before you went to sleep, or
basically, yeah.
When you guys were making camp right there before?
I think you were still walking.
Yeah, so you said you did it in the the afternoon, so they would definitely be there in the morning and through most of the day, the next day.
Okay.
So as you gather your camp, you guys maybe make a light breakfast, but Morgan is urging you to get an early start. He says,
I fear our time may be limited. We should not dally.
and he says, "Who is leading today? Do you wish me to take point, or will one of you lead again?"
As you say that, I start blinking again. Just walk forward. Say, I will start. I will take today if nobody has any objections.
Okay.
I haven't
don't
moved
object.
through breakfast, eaten anything. That's the first time I've moved, spoken, and I just move forward like I haven't. Like everything.
Roll a survival check.
Also, can I point out his new religious mud symbol on him to maybe give
Sure.
him advantage and feel really good about the day?
Yeah, sure. What do you say?
Ken, the Luxon blessed you. Go look into the water and look on your face.
Do I need to roll something?
No, so I mean, yeah, you can go to a cool, still part of water, and you look in it, and reflecting back, you see marked on your forehead is an infinity symbol with kind of like an octagonal circle around it, that you would recognize as a rudimentary symbolism of the Luxon.
Do I need to do an insight check to know that it was him?
Yeah, make an insight check. Yeah, make an
Or is
insight
it,
check.
Do I know, like...
Make an insight check, and I'll say Humberto make a deception check. Dude. You believe it, man. This is divine intervention.
I'm on the right path.
Oof.
Everybody, no one else is fooled, though. And you are all really surprised that Ken keeps falling for this.
So
Would you say
walk-
this inspires him to roll with
I
advantage
walk
for a survival
forward
check?
and there are, like, you see, I'm showing no emotion, but I have tears steady streaming down my face. So unbelievably happy.
Unfortunately, this will not help you with your survival check that I need you to make.
This is great world building, man.
I'll take it. It's better than disadvantage.
Okay.
I am so focused on my, like, how beautiful it was to be blessed. I'm just walking straight forward.
So Ken starts walking, and 3, 4, 5. Yeah. So Ken just starts walking through the marsh straight ahead, and the rest of you are falling behind. You're not really sure where you're going, and you can see Morgan pulling out his map, trying to get your bearings, but you guys are not exactly sure where you are. At this point, you guys, your tokens should not be visible on the map.
Don't like that.
Did you guys disappear?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So you are considered lost. However,
This is a cool mechanic, by the way.
You are never lost when Luxon
However-
has the light to guide you forward.
okay. And what about this? Oh, no. Oh, you guys are lucky sons of bitches. That is also nothing. Okay. Wow.
Recreating Bob just with all the bad insight checks. He's gonna be a useful idiot.
So you guys actually walk through. However, about midway through the day, Altias, your foot bumps into something hard. As you're mucking through the swamp, you're in about waist deep water, and your foot bumps into something hard beneath the water.
Okay. Oh, shit. What was that? Oh, shite. So, do I roll anything, or do I just...
What are you doing? Are you trying to investigate this in some form?
Yeah, so I try to look and see what I might have bumped into.
Yeah. Are you going under the water?
No, I use my walking staff and kind of
Poke
try
around?
to feel around the area, kind of get the shape of it, kind of figure out if I move my foot again, will I end up bonking it again?
How close are we to him in it? Like, how deep is it?
It's about waist deep. And actually,
So we're like wading through. It's not like we're like walking like shin high.
yeah, somebody make a nature check for me. Actually, either Altias or Ken. One of you guys. Sure,
Well, he's at the lead.
investigating this.
Take the lead.
I heard it roll, but I don't see anything.
That's a 6.
I think we need to get down below.
I'll say with Altias helping you, with Altias helping, I'll say that I'll give you advantage on it.
Okay. I need to change my dice.
There you go.
Ooh.
Much better.
So you pause, and you're a rather intelligent individual as well. So Altias, I'll say what you are able to do is poking around with your staff. You are able to find this object. It is very solid. It is dense. It is hard. It is maybe you gather 18 inches in diameter, perhaps. Maybe less. Somewhere between. Probably closer maybe to 16 inches in diameter, roughly round, although it is not. It is irregular in shape. It's a bit oblate, but roughly spherical, an irregular sort of sphere. And Ken, you seeing Altias kind of halt the march and say he's found something, and you start looking around the area. And you realize that the broader area here is actually devoid of most vegetation, and you actually notice that looking at some of the surrounding trees that there seem to be some broken limbs higher up on some of the trees. You do see some fallen trees, and this general area, looking at the level of water, it is deeper in the middle than it is around the edges. You gather that this might actually be some sort of crater.
Guys, I think this is where one of the Luxon's possible vile children or some outer being could have crashed into the earth. Maybe something making a big impact here.
So do I get anything from? I know I got the dimensions. Is that all that it tells me?
It's hard and dense. You know roughly how big it is and where it is. You don't exactly know what this is.
Okay, I'm gonna try to poke at it with my staff.
Yeah.
I don't want to put my head in there until I get a sense of if it moves. But I just kind of want to get a feel for if it's inanimate or not.
Yeah, it's inanimate.
Before I reach my hand.
Yeah,
Okay.
sure. So poke it with your staff. It's inanimate and it is fairly heavy.
Let's move the sound of. Pick it up. Let's see what it is.
All right, so I try to reach down and pick it up.
Okay. So make a strength check for me.
You want athletics, or do you want
Just a general strength? Just a general strength
Yes.
check.
Yeah.
Can I give him the help action? Try and give him advantage.
Sure. If you want to help him, yeah, go ahead and make it an advantage. As Ken,
I don't have very strong.
it's going to help you lift it. Wow.
Hey, shit! Nat 20.
Okay. Now I also need.
That's like my fourth nat 20 of the day.
I also need both of you to make. I also need
The starry one.
both of you to make Constitution saves for me.
Oh God!
Man, I think I know what it is.
What the fuck?
Okay.
I got a 16.
Okay, so Altias, you are fine. Ken, you contract sewer plague. As you are submerging yourself in the murky water of the bog, and we will talk about what that means. Now, Altias, with Ken's help, I'll say you are able to dislodge this, and while it is in the water, you're able to move it to a more shallow part of this small crater where this thing is. You're able to dislodge it from where it has come to rest in the middle, and while it is in the water, it is much lighter, and you're able to move it, but I'll say you are not currently able to remove it from the water just because of how heavy it is, but you are able to get it to a more shallow area, and you realize that this is a meteorite, and in fact, give me a nature check.
Do I get advantage? Because that's like one of my things.
Yeah, I'll give you advantage on this because this is.
I sliced my hand wide open and the sewage just
This is
got in there.
something you'd be keen to. Yeah. So.
Okay, 19.
Given what you have set out to do, this is what drew you here. You were looking for a fallen star, right? And you gather that this is quite possibly in the exact same that you saw fall from the sky several months ago, or whenever you set out a month or two.
So,
however,
canon-wise, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah. However, you also gauge that in order for you to make use of this or acquire this is in its current form, it is too heavy for you to take with you on your continuing journey right now. This would have to be probably a dedicated excavation in and of itself to come back for this item, especially given the urgency that has been placed on your current objective.
Okay.
But yeah, in its current state, to try and harvest this thing, you need to either spend some time mining it somehow, or you would have to spend more time and effort fully excavating it and figuring out how to transport it, because it is very heavy.
I thought it was going to
Yeah,
be
we
like a turtle or something. That's when I said I knew what it was. I thought it was something when they removed the middle, it was going to snap on them. I thought it was going to be a creature. I was like, this sucks. I'm dying here.
Okay, so it's not a background feature that I found this. This is the only one that I've found.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So it's here, and we're lost right now, so we don't even know.
You don't
Where?
know. You do not know exactly where this is. That is correct. But you have found it. You have a vague sense. But yeah, you do not know the exact placement of this. And at this time, as you're all interested with this, Morgan says,
We don't have time for this now. We need to keep moving.
and in fact, Ken goes back into his auto walk and starts plowing through.
Who's the wizard in our group?
That's me.
Do you have anything to let this kind of be carried behind us? Any magical means?
Can I try and cast a ray of frost to make like
floating iceberg? Because it's a cantrip, so I can kind of keep casting it.
Yeah, it's a cantrip,
And-
but it's so the ray of frost doesn't have any real substance to it. It's just a blast of energy.
So I very confidently am like, yes, watch, and I cast ray of frost, and I try and shove the object on top, and it like shatters through like a thin layer of ice and just like sinks down. Nope.
Roll damage on the ray of frost.
Okay.
Fuck this guy.
And it's still submerged too.
Oh shit, guys! I forgot to mute. Sorry, I just pissed again.
So so with the 3, all you really end up doing actually is just kind of temporarily icing over the vicinity of where it is, because it is still slightly submerged. So you create some ice chunks, but they kind of bob and then dissolve back into the murky, swampy water.
I
Seems
will.
like this would almost just kind of make it stuck.
Ken, I
don't
appreciate
think I
your
have
efforts.
anything.
Do you have any way to tell me what this is? Anything more specific? Get any senses for it? Any magical natures? Anything of the kind?
Yeah, sure. And I take one of my daggers and I try and stab into it to see if I can.
No.
Yeah.
Not of the
So
mundane variety.
as you do, it cling. This is not average stone. There is some metallic elements to this object. This is some solid. This is like a solid chunk of some type of ore.
What is
We're not.
What is Tyler's character's name again? It doesn't show up on my
Tiger.
screen. Tiger.
Yep.
And I turn to Tiger and say, "Hey, let's try to pull this out. I think we can do it."
That sounds like that'd be my alley.
Okay. One of you guys make a strength check. I'll say with advantage because of the help.
I'll say I mostly want it to be somewhere that we can find it
Pick
later.
one of
I
you
don't
guys
think we can
without
bring it.
comparing stats. One of you guys do it without comparing stats.
Without comparing stats,
Yeah.
who wants? I'm gonna let you roll it, but I'm gonna help you.
All right, Tiger. All right. Roll strength at advantage. So
This shit.
so a 3 and a 4.
Yep.
And your strength. So you two, because it is in more shallow water, you don't have to save against the swamp plague, or sewer plague, but you are unable to dislodge it from the mud. It is sank back into the mud a little bit, and it's kind of nestled in there. So you can see it. It's a little more obvious now than where it was before, but you haven't excavated it, and Morgan is growing more impatient with your antics.
We don't have time for this. We have to save Bulbara.
Okay, so do I have anything that I can mark, like a tree
Sure.
or something that's nearby? I
Yeah,
just want to be.
We mark it on the map.
Well, you don't know where you
We
are.
don't
on
know
the
where
map.
we are.
Oh, fudge.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
I'm very
you can
lost.
So I'll say go ahead, make a like a nature or survival check, Altas, and especially because Ken had such a high nature check before, observing the area of this with the observing that as a crater.
Oh, fuck me. Okay, I got a 6.
So you can carve something on one of the trees, and I'll say because of Ken's check previously, if you were to try and find this, because he was able to identify some key features of an object coming through the trees, crashing, creating a crater, right? This is a geologic formation that you might be able to locate now that you know that you're looking for it, even though you don't know exactly where it is. Even though you don't know exactly where on the map you are, you kind of know what to look for, and you scratch in on one of the trees so that you'll mark this this area of like which side of the pool you've dragged it over to now.
This is a very intelligent move.
All right, guys. I'm sorry to hold us back. I say we get back to the trail if it's okay with Ken, our leader.
Yes, and I just keep walking forward in my straight line.
So as you
Luxon has chosen
continue through this boggy marsh, you eventually come to an algae-covered moat that surrounds a low hill and a small murky cave. The sunless mouth of the small cave is set into a stony hill rising from a scum-covered expanse of the swamp. A colony of large purple toadstools surrounds the cave on its rocky, moss-covered aisle, and a slimy path winds through the mushrooms before terminating at the cavern's dark, vine-draped entrance.
We gotta avoid those mushrooms. Purple's bad.
Is there any significance to the mushrooms with the color purple to the Luxon for me?
Make a history check.
I'm gonna be checking if I recognize these for like any dangerous.
Yeah, can I do a nature check as well?
Sure.
Would it be nature or survival?
Nature check.
Okay. Should we both do it or just him?
Let's
That's
go.
pretty good. I'll leave mine out.
Yeah.
Finally rolled good.
So you, given your travels and certainly getting to Urzen, you had to cross through some amount of this marsh before, and you do recognize that these are toxic toadstools and should probably be avoided. You would probably want to stay quite a distance away from the toadstools.
So is there a way for us to get to the cave without crossing the toadstools? Oh, sorry.
Yes, you can move along the slimy path that twists up towards the cave mouth, easily avoiding the toxic toadstools.
So I take lead and tell everyone to follow me. Guys, these mushrooms are super poisonous. Don't touch them. If they spore, don't breathe them in. We're going to go to the cave without touching them, so everyone be careful.
You got it.
Okay, so
Alrighty.
I'm going to say that we will pick up there next session as we go to explore this toadstool cave.